Hi everyone, welcome to the next video. We're going to do something a little different today. We are going to try and do just 20 minutes. And you can look at the time in the bottom right now and let me know how close I got. Trying to do something quick. Pace has been, I think, really good, but let's break it up and let people kind of take a breather. Okay, what I want to do now, we have a cool map. Sure, it's not perfect, but it's getting there. We have, location, all that kind of stuff. And we also have this list view, but we don't have a good way to toggle between them. So we're going to try at least one potential approach here. We'll go to our venue list screen. I think that's what we call it, venue root screen. Yeah, right now we just have the venue map component. I'm going to get rid of that. And now we'll just have this lovely blank sort of thing. What I want instead for the body is we are going to, I guess, or do we do this? Should we do this in the app bar? Yeah, no, I think we do in the body. Yeah, we're going to do a body. And it is going to be a column, and it's going to have some children. The first child will be a tab bar, like this, and we're going to have some tabs in here. And I think we have to, what does tab need to be? It's a list, oh, it can be any widget. Yeah, it can just be text, whatever. Let's just put text for now, test1, test2. And then what we want under the column, or in the second thing in the column is we actually want a tab bar view. I feel like I'm missing something here though. Tab bar view. We need this, okay, we need the whole body actually to be wrapped in a default tab controller, which has a length of 2. And then, there we go. Now, this is our tab bar view, and its children are basically going to be these two different things. We're going to have our venue map and our venue list. Now, what we also need to do is make this expanded so it takes up all the space, and we should be okay now. Maybe. Let's refresh. There we go. So now we have this cool thing where we can go between our two guys. Now I think there is like an element we can use. Yeah, just called tab instead of like text. That way it can look a little bit nicer. So here's our tab, and we can give it text, and we can call this venue. We can even just have the word list, and we can have a an icon. I'm just making this up as I go. Icons dot, maybe like that. And secondly, you'll see if I say this now, we'll actually get an error. Oh, actually, yeah, there is still an error here because it's like, hey, we have a problem because we don't have 2, but we can now have map here, and let's put something like a map. That works. So now we have our list, and we have our map. Very nice. Now, we probably don't need this. The icons are probably enough to make this work. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, cool. So our list works, and we can go to things, and it's great. And our map, although we're nowhere near where we need to be, let us update our location. So in the simulator, debug, or where is it? Features, location, custom location. We're actually going to go to our map component because we kind of have this default stuff that I know works. And let's type these in. So we'll have that, and we'll have this, and that'll bring us to an area where we have some venues. Now I'm going to just click this button to bring us there, because changing that in, oh, I think I did it. I think I did this backwards. Device, features, location, custom location, longitude. That's weird. Latitude 41. Oh, right, because we changed this to debug something. Okay, 43. So we'll change that, and we'll just click to it. So now we're actually here, and our simulator will, sort of stay there. So that's cool. We can go between these things, which is really nice. All right, that's a good start. Let us also do a little bit of work on here, on our venue detail screen. And let's just open up our venue. Let's go to the server side actually and look at our venue. So we have an owner, cool. We have a hub, we have a name, we have a primary image URL. Let's actually look at the cards. Let's start with that actually. So our venue, we should have, oops, venue list, venue list component here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to extract this widget, and we're going to extract the widget. We're going to call it venue list tile, like that, which is going to require, I don't know why I didn't get pulled over, but we're going to require a venue to be passed in. Required this dot venue, and we'll just go venue, venue. Very good. Now I'm going to move this to a different file and make sure we are in our venue. Make a new component. We'll call it venue list tile component dart. Trying this convention where we actually have the word component, which I'm going to also put here. And I realized I call this title. This should just be tile. So we'll grab that. Let's just replace it here. And here we need to actually import material. Cupertino came in for some reason. And we need to import GoRouter to get the extension on context. And we need to import this. So a few things are imported, which means we probably have some things we can remove from here, which is always a nice to have. Get rid of that comma. Okay, so let's actually work on this now that it's in its own file. So I think we'll probably want to have sort of like a leading of an image .network here. However, I want to use cached network image for any of our things. Although I believe the network image built in now does do caching, the cached network image has some nice things like actually, let's see. We may not need it anymore. Does this have like a error builder or a loading builder? Oh, it does. Okay, you know what? We're gonna use the built-in one until I realize there's a problem with it. So here we need our image, and of course we would use our what does our venue have? It has a image URL. So what we should do though is basically check if venue dot it's not. Do we not even have an image URL? Primary image URL. Okay, if venue dot primary image URL dot is not empty, that's when we'll use this. Otherwise, we'll just fall back to like an icon. Icons dot let's just use a store or something. Yeah, that looks nice. So if it is not empty, we'll use this, and we need to pass in essentially this right here. We can also give it a width of, let's just do like 40 and a height of 40. Oops, that always happens. Height of 40. And we want to do a fit where we do box fit dot cover so that it always kind of takes up that space. And we might want to also make this something that's going to be in a circle. Although we won't be able to test it until we have that anyway. So we'll come back to that. It'll just be like a square basically when this goes. Otherwise we fall back to here. Okay, cool. What else do we know about a venue? It has a name. It has an address. So let's actually do that as the subtitle. Venue.address. Now what I want to do here specifically is say max lines 1, so it doesn't start to like, if it's a huge address. And we want to make sure we have an overflow of text overflow.ellipsis. And that will just make it have a nice fancy ellipsis. So there you see it goes like that. If we didn't have this stuff, well, if we didn't have the ellipse, it's just going to end sort of like hard, which that's not terrible, but the ellipsis is a little bit nicer. And if we don't have the max lines, you're going to see it kind of does some funky stuff. That's not the end of the world, but imagine an address that's a lot longer that we're relying on from Google Plays. There we go. And then let's have also a trailing icon, icons dot chevron right. So I'm just doing pretty basic UI to make it look kind of pretty. But we're going to come back to this and make it, a lot prettier at some point with a real design. Okay, so that allows us to do that. This is still fine. We can, show stuff like that. Eventually, like we'll probably replace this with the same kind of vibe, but we'll just focus on this now. Okay, now that we have that, let's actually work on our detail screen. So what does this do? It pushes to our detail screen. We can just get rid of some of this stuff. And what I like to do here is we have the screen itself, which manages a few things, right? It has the app bar, it has like a back button. Maybe we're gonna have an edit button on it, like right there. And it does this like, watching the venue detail provider to get it based on the ID, which is super handy because if someone came to this page first, especially in web, that's pretty easy to do. Just by the ID, which is going to be in the URL, as we can see here, it'll have everything it needs to load. But what I like to do is kind of have now a component that represents, okay, we have the venue data. What does that actually look like? Rather than putting it all in here. Right now we're putting, where do we do it? Center text. Yeah, this is right now our venue detail component. So we're actually going to make a new component called venue detail component. And this is one that safely we know we have a venue that is not null. So let's just make a stateless widget for that. Yeah, we'll go stateless consumer. We'll eventually need that, at least I'm sure. Consumer widget. We need to import material. And we want final venue. And we will make it required. This dot venue. Okay, so instead of returning this, we're just going to return venue detail component and pass in the venue, just like so. So now we should see nothing because it is just returning a container. Cool. But what do we want to have here? Well, there's probably going to be a column. And in fact, this might be we'll probably end up converting this to something like a sliver list at some point, which are super nice for having like scrollable things, like lists within lists. But let's just make it a column for now that is actually in a single child scroll view. And then our children will be the various things. So maybe we have a text here. Well, we already have the title, right? So we don't necessarily have to put that. But what other things do we have? We have our like image. So maybe we're going to have, let's start with that. Let's have a image.network. Now, because I know we don't have images yet, and maybe that's what we'll get into in our next video, actually. Let's just find a placeholder image library API. I usually use PlaceKitten for this, but PlaceKitten has been down this last little while. I want something, I mean, let's see, pick some photos. Yeah, this looks good. So let's just grab something like this. And let's just make it a width of like, I'm assuming this is width and height, 600 by 400, something like that. And let's just see if that even works. I really have to solve this problem that's happening. What we want to do is maybe we want to give this a width of 600, or sorry, width of double dot infinity and a height of something that looks good. And we can make this, flexible and responsive and stuff, but we're just trying to lay it out. And we want to make sure its fit is boxfit.cover so that it actually uses up all the space. So there we go. We got Oddburger there. We have this cool image. Awesome. This thing scrolls, although it doesn't look like it yet because we don't have enough stuff scrolling. What else do we have here? And we're doing good on time. Okay, so we have the address, website URL, Instagram URL. That stuff sounds cool to have. We have a bio. Yeah, I feel like we do. I'm going to design in code as usual. Let's start with some text here of the venue dot website URL, and we'll do something where if venue.website URL is not empty, we'll put this. So let's just see how that just looks. And that's really annoying. I'm going to fix that. Okay, so apparently that one's empty. Let's do the same for Instagram. Oops. Oh, really? Are both of these empty? I mean, we can edit it, I guess. Or is it just a rendering error? It's possible. Oh, looks like, okay, Oddburger, HTTPS, oddburger.com. And Instagram URL, instagram.com/oddburger. We're marketing. Let's save that. And what's cool is we got that because we've already dealt with our state updating. Now our column, let's give it a cross-axis alignment of cross-axis alignment on start so that it kind of goes to the left. Make sure we click on Oddburger. Looking all right. We do need some padding on this kind of stuff, so I'm just going to wrap it in some padding. Let's try, yeah, that'll probably be fine. Actually, symmetric. We'll do vertical of 4, horizontal of maybe 12. 6 and 12, let's try. So we have the nice little spacing there, and what we're going to do is have some style on this, text style. And it will be decoration, text. Actually, let's do this a little bit differently just to make use of our theme data. So we'll do style equals theme dot of context dot text theme dot body medium maybe. Then we can do dot copy width, and we can do decoration, text decoration dot underline if that's what we want. Let's see how that looks. Cool, it looks fine. It's not the best thing in the world. I'm just going to copy this and basically put it here and just change this to this. I meant to do one more thing. We also want this to be wrapped in an inkwell perhaps on tap. And here we'll do our launch URL string, but I don't think we've installed that package yet. So we'll just go like to do launch URL. And similarly here around the text, wrap with a inkwell. And we don't want on double tap, we just want on tap. Get out of there. Launch URL. Okay, so we're looking okay here. That's definitely let's do this. Probably the better way to do this is let's just actually put a column inside a column. And we're just going to make its main axis size dot min. And then we're actually going to take these guys and put them in here, get rid of the padding on each of them, remove the padding, and instead put padding on this, so that there's kind of like this nice little thing happening. And this column, we also need to do our cross-axis alignment. Oops, let's click on this one. There we go, we have our things. Now we probably want, we can just put a, what we should probably do is have padding on this, but only top padding. Or only, you know what? Let's actually do the other way around. Padding only bottom, let's do like 4 or something. And we'll do the same with this. The reason I'm doing this is basically if this thing exists, it's going to add a little bit of padding under it. But if we were just to do size boxes, they would be stuck. If we just did it like here, you'd have a size box no matter what, and it might layout will look a little different both times, or depending on the state. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe like 2. All right, I'm not get too concerned about the design. So there's our links. That's okay. We also want to have a bio. So maybe the bio actually comes first. We can still do it inside this column. So we can go if venue.bio.isNotEmpty. We can have a text of venue.bio. And maybe for this, we'll grab this style. Body large. Oh, we don't have a, I guess we don't have a bio. Let's grab a bio, lorem ipsum. I used to have an extension that would just generate this for me. It was the best, and then their service died, and I haven't gotten around to finding a better one. There we go. We have a nice bio. So now we have this stuff. Let's actually make this body medium. I'm not going to spend too much time making it beautiful, but we are good. And similarly, let's also add padding on this. That does the same kind of thing, just bottom of 2, or this one actually maybe bottom of like 4. Cool. Cool, let's see how it looks. That's okay. It's not the best thing in the world, although it's hard to tell because I actually have this zoom. It's being scaled by just so it can all fit on my screen better at my lower resolution for streaming, for recording. So it's doing some weird anti-aliasing, and I'm sure on the recording it's even worse. But this is fine. We're just gonna get stuff in place. How are we? Oh, we're so close. Oh, we're at 20 minutes. Okay, this was good. I just want to do a quick one of kind of getting our UI together. We have this, we have these kind of things. Everything's cool. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.